Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I have another Project Life process video for you, and this one is a little bit different. It's not an actual week, but a spread about some of our current favorites for January. The inspiration for this particular spread came from a couple of embellishments that I had from Colorcast Designs, and in the beginning I thought maybe I would just add them into my regular Project Life, but then the idea of telling these little stories kind of snowballed and I ended up with a full spread. So that's what I'm doing now, and as you can see I am working on my title card. I stamped the word January already on this beautiful pink card that I have. And now I'm spelling out favorites. And I'm just going to abbreviate it with some of these pink letter stickers that I have. Below the letters, I have a piece that says currently. And I cut that out of one of my Project Life cards from the currently edition. And I couldn't decide on whether if I wanted to say currently or if I wanted this to say January favorites. So I kind of combined them and I added in that black and symbol onto my card there. Right now I'm going to go ahead and get everything glued down on my title card. So that one's done. And as always, I like to start out with my title card. The last little thing that I want to add onto my title card is this red star that I have, and I'm just playing around to see if I want it on the top or on the bottom. So I put it next to the favorites, and then my card is now done. The next card that I'm going to work on is the one in the bottom left corner there. It says make more messes, and I am going to add this gray strip that says a story about my favorite thing. Those gray strips, I believe, are from an Allie Edwards story kit. I'm going to move on to a filler card that I want to make. And I've chosen this blue grid card. And originally it was 4x6, so I just cut it down. On this blue card, I'm going to go ahead and use some stamps from Kelly Perky. And I'm not sure how old they are. I picked them up at a scrapbook expo that I went to last fall. And the first one I'm going to put is this California, the state. And I'm going to put that on first. And then I'm going to layer the one that says California Girl on top of the California state. I went ahead and played around with this stamp a little bit on a piece of scratch paper so that I could figure out what I wanted to do on the blue card before I stamped it and make sure that's what I wanted. So, and the last thing I did is I added a pink heart right near where we are living at the moment. So I've had that stamp for a while and always wanted to use it. The next card I'm working on is this one that has the blue strip on the bottom, and then I have the word mom, and I used this circle piece. It's wood, and it says I'm like 104% tired, and I used the circle as an O, and so I spelled out mom. And I'm going to leave that card alone for now, and we'll come back to it. And as you can see, I'm chopping up some photos that I want to add in here, and just cutting them down to 3x4 and I've made a white border, which I usually do for when I have my 3x4 photos. This first photo I found online of the Hobbit movie, and then the other picture is of Maddie at night, and she's been kind of making a bed for herself with lots of pillows and a blanket. And so I thought I'd use that photo in this spread, but later you'll see that I take it out and switch it out with something else. So let's talk about what I'm doing now. I am working on this right side, and this right side I am using a page protector from Simple Stories, and it has 3 4x6 pockets and then a big 6x12 pocket. And right now I'm trying to figure out what cards I want to use. I have these 2 cards. The one that I'm using right now is pink. It has a pink, half of a shaped pink flower shape on it, I think. And then the other one has a light green bird. And so I'm switching around the cards right now, trying to figure out where I want them. And I go with that pink card, and then I move the blue one up to the top. That way the pinks are spread out, because I have the pink title card, and then I can put some blue up there on the top. And on that pink card, I have a acrylic piece from Colorcast Designs that says drink of choice, and I'll talk about that more later. As you can see, I'm switching out a few. Well, I switched out the photo of Maddie with another one of her. And then I also added a big 4x6 photo down there. And then the bigger photo on the right-hand side. So I am working on this big photo here. I printed it out at 6x9, so that way I can put it in that 6x12 pocket. And I put some journaling on the top there where there was some white space. And I put a digital weekend brush on there as well. And right now I'm going to use my date stamp to stamp on the date, because I wanted to remember what date we took that walk. At this point, my spread is mostly done. I just have to finish up my journaling, and that's what I'm doing now. So I printed out my journaling on the Make More Messes card, and I'm going to put some embellishments on there as well. And I used that wood piece there because I have those other wood pieces from Colorcast Designs, and I wanted to spread out the wood, and so it all looked even. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a star as well. And then I'm also going to stamp something there at the bottom. Now, I am not sure why my printer printed my journaling sideways, but I decided to let it go. I'm not going to reprint it because I don't have another one of those cards. So I'm just going to look through my stamps and see if I can put anything on the bottom there. So I found a stamp that says love, and I'm going to go ahead and put it there at the bottom. And I knew that I didn't want to just stamp it right over my journaling, and that way you couldn't see my journaling. So I'm practicing on a scratch paper to see how many times I want to stamp it before I stamp it on my card, so that way it's kind of like a transparent. And so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and straighten everything out and put this other circle wood piece that says Namaste in bed. So I added it onto that photo of me lying in bed because that's pretty much one of my favorite things right now, is lying around, because January's been pretty rainy and dark, and so I thought that was a perfect embellishment. So let's move on. I have added my journaling onto that mom card, and I'm just playing around with some embellishments that I want to add on to the bottom in that blue pattern paper area. So I'm playing around with some things here. I thought that it would be nice to find something pink. So I pulled out my pink drawer, and I have most of my embellishments organized by color. And so I just pulled the drawer down and found one that I liked, and then I'm going to add a flower. So I decided that I wanted to add one more embellishment on there, and so I go get my stars and see if I want to add one of those on there as well. I think the star just kind of balanced it all out, and I just tucked the flower underneath the star, and it is now done. So at this point, I've decided I wanted to add a few little embellishments here and there. So I picked out a couple of blue hearts, and I added one onto that TV card, and then one underneath the drink of choice. Okay, so now I've finished my journaling on my last two cards there, and so I'm going to go ahead and put together this drink of choice card, and I'm going to tuck that wood veneer piece underneath the acrylic piece. This drink of choice set from Colorcast Designs is so cute, and I knew when I saw it I wanted to tell the story about my favorite drink, and I picked out that wood piece that has a bottle of soda. So I have to admit that I did buy a bottle of Dr. Pepper so that way I could take a picture of me with the bottle. As you can see, I put the photo above that journaling card to go along with my story. I do have to say that this spread was so fun to put together. These little details make up our lives just as much as the everyday project life spreads that we do. And so I am so glad that I took the time to get this spread done and tell these little stories. And as I mentioned earlier, of course, I could have just added it into my regular project life album, or spread, I mean. But this was just super fun to put them all together in this monthly format. I'm certainly not going to do this every month, but again, it was really fun to put together. So as you can see, I am adding on that journaling card onto my photo, and I printed the photo a little bit longer so that way I could add on my journaling card onto the photo and have it stick to something. I left a little bit of room on the bottom so I could add a few embellishments, and I played around with a few things, and then I went ahead and all my circles out, and I have separated my circle embellishments and put them all together. That way, if I'm looking for a circle, I can just grab the drawer. And so I'm playing around with a few of these circles here. And I'm also playing around with this vellum star that I have. So in the end, I went with a teal circle that says hello. I thought that color went well with everything else that I had going on in my spread. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put everything together, glue everything down, and I am almost ready to wrap this up. I want to finish up and talk about the journaling that I put onto this card. I added some stories about some of the photos that I added and also a few other things that were going on in January. Okay, so the last thing that I need to do is cut off a piece of that photo that's a little bit longer than the 6 inches. So I want to make sure that it fits in the pocket, so I went ahead and put it in to make sure. And I think I am done, everyone. So I want to say thank you so much for coming and watching. It means so much to me, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.